Have you ever wondered what is your purpose in life? What is the meaning of your life? We spend a lot of time in college, not only in college, but in our whole existence searching for meaning and purpose of life and everything in it. But what if there isn't one inherent meaning to life? Good day, everyone. I hope you really are having a good day. I am Marinel together with Raya and Nati. And in our discussion today, we're delving into a fascinating philosophical realm. Really fascinating that will make you question your knowledge. Well, at least for me. And this is Albert Camus' exploration of absurdism through the myth of Sisyphus. So this work isn't just about a mythical figure Sisyphus rolling a boulder uphill. It reflects the very essence of existence. So let's ask ourselves this question. What does it mean to confront life's absurdities head on like what Sisyphus did? And how do we find meaning in a seemingly chaotic and meaningless world? So, through Camus' lens and works, we'll uncover insights that challenge our perceptions and spark thought provoking discussions about the nature of our existence. So, let's start by introducing Albert Camus. So, he was born on November 7, 1913, at Algeria and died January 4, 1960, at the age of 46. He was a French journalist, editor and editorialist, playwright and director, novelist and author of short stories, political essayist and activist, and last but not the least, although he more than once denied it, he was also a philosopher. So he forcefully separated himself from existentialism, pero he presents a distinct perspective sa existentialism through his distinct concept of absurdism then. So, distinct because for Sartre, absurdity belongs to the world prior to activity of consciousness. Pero for Camus, absurdity wasn't actually inherent in the world. It came from a world without God, and this creates a gap between what we want, what humans want, which is meaning and happiness, and yung reality talaga natin, which is continuous suffering and death. And itong absurdity na to, yung core question ng book na The Myth of Sisyphus na i-discuss later. So, if you know the story lang, Sisyphus forever pushing a boulder uphill which pagdating sa taas will just roll back, diba? So, it's pointless, much like life without inherent meaning. So, itong absurdity is in-explore niya pa further in his novel The Plague, wherein the arbitrary suffering caused by the plague reflects the absurdity of existence, and later on, this absurdity raises the question of suicide. Pero for Camus, it's the wrong answer. We should not give up or commit suicide. Instead, for him, we should just accept the absurdity and live in the moment, appreciating the beauty and pleasure of life kahit na mag-end ito. So one of the important term din dito is yung lucidity, which is the clarity of thought and rejecting illusion. So it's much similar to the term agony of other existentialists, pero for Camus, it leads to a more positive outlook. He even says na pwede nating imagine na magiging masaya si Sisyphus kahit na forever siyang nagro-roll ng boulder uphill.
So moving on to the absurdity and suicide. So the question of suicide, according to Camus, is an essential human problem that stems from the absurdity of life. So yung description kasi ni Camus of the absurd is that there is a combination of two things within us that contradict each other. So ito yung how we want the world to be and how the world really is. So, the world kasi that we visualize in our minds, syempre, don't usually line up with how the world really is. So, di naman yung perception natin ng world sa utak natin is ganun talaga yung world sa totoong buhay. So, I'm sure most of us, syempre, wants the world to be filled with joy and good. But syempre, the world, as we can see, is actually filled with evil that causes wars, conflicts, and even sickness.
Let me ask you this question. Is this life worth living for? Let's think about this. All the struggles, happiness, sadness, satisfaction, pain and all, is it all worth it? According to Camus, yung fundamental question ng philosophy is this question, is whether life is worth living. And this question precedes all others. He asserts that suicide is the most urgent philosophical problem because it directly addresses the meaning of life. According to Camus, there are two methods of thoughts. The method of Laplace, which emphasizes the evidence and common sense, and the method of Don Quixote, which incorporates the emotion and lyricism. Sinasabi niya na kailangan nating i-balance yung two methods nito para maintindihan natin yung meaning talaga ng buhay.
So, ayun nga, according to Camus, he rejects suicide. So, Camus kasi argues that suicide doesn't solve this problem of absurdity. So, parang sinasabi niya na it's simply an escape and the absurdity remains. And we should not commit suicide, but instead, we should stand in the face of absurdity and we should not give ourselves into this false hope. So, belief niya kasi that facing up to the inevitability of our own death can help us appreciate life's value. This involves yung embracing life's experiences, both joyful and sorrowful, without clinging to the illusion of a predetermined purpose. So, we can learn to appreciate life all the more by understanding that death is inevitable and hindi siya may iwasan niya. So, all of this actually will be explained more in the following slides. So let's move on naman to the next topic, which is yung absurd walls. So Camus starts kasi the topic of absurd walls with a few quotes. So the first quote being, like great works, deep feelings always mean more than they are conscious of saying. Then yung second naman is yung, they light up with their passion an exclusive world in which they recognize their climate. So ano ba ibig sabihin ng quotes na to? So honestly, medyo nahirapan din ako basahin yung text because of how articulate and lyrical kasi yung text. But basically, para sa akin, ang pagkakaintindi ko dito is, these quotes mean that great feelings mean more than anything else. So the quotes tells us that we frame our world and see it through the perspective and the point of view of that feeling. So Camus is basically referring to how strong emotions can color our perception of reality. Let me now give an example para mas maintindihan ninyo to. So, framing. So, imagine nyo picture frame. So, here makikita natin sa PowerPoint na may picture frame dito. When we look at a picture frame, may borders siya, diba? These borders set or defines the boundaries of what you see and how you see it. Bali kasi, it focuses on what is inside that border or what is inside that picture frame. So, similarly, deep feelings act as a frame for how we experience the world. Another one is yung perspective or point of view. Going back dun nga sa picture frame, just by looking at the picture in different angles, nag-change yung perspective natin, di ba? Pwedeng nag-iiba yung nakikita natin or may nabubuo tayong new interpretation with how the picture is angled or positioned in our heads. So again, same as deep emotions alter how we interpret and understand the world around us. And basically, strong or deep emotions kasi act like a filter through which we see the world. So, nai-influence nito kung saan tayo nagpe-pay attention, paano natin in-interpret yung certain events, and ano yung reaction natin with regards to those certain events. Pero along with these emotions are dynamics that help us understand how emotions can really cloud yung perspectives natin. So, first one is distortion. So, we can consider such feelings as distortions. Bakit? Kasi, especially since yung framing kasi isn't always objective. So, yung deep emotions na nararamdaman natin can sometimes distort perception, which results in making us see things in either a more positive or negative light than reality. Kumbaga parang deep emotions kasi can narrow yung focus natin. So, making us pay more attention to things that reinforce our feelings and neglecting things that contradict them. So, one example dito is siguro when we are angry at someone. So, di ba pag galit tayo sa iba, sometimes parang hindi na tayo nakakapag-isip ng maayos kasi sa sobrang galit natin. So sometimes, nine-neglect natin yung attempts nila to apologize and mag-sorry. And instead, we nitpick or we put words into their mouth that influences us to blame or get angry at them even more. Bali yun nga, parang nininitpick natin sila tapos di natin sila pinapahinggan dahil sobra tayong galit sa kanila. Second one naman is going back dun sa isang quote ni Camus kanina na they light up with their passion an exclusive world in which they recognize their climate. So, these emotional climates kasi can be shared. So, people experiencing yung same feeling na nararamdaman mo might see the world in similar ways. And the third one naman is intensity. So, the stronger and the deeper the feelings we feel, the more likely it is to dominate our perspective and frame our world. So, for example ulit, sa sobrang saya naman natin, it can make everything seem brighter and better. while deep grief naman can make the world feel bleak. So, intensity kasi has the tendency to have a tunneling and magnification method, which I will elaborate more. So, strong emotions can create a tunnel vision effect. So, meaning lang neto that we become hyper-focused on the source of the emotion. So, pag hyper-focus kasi tayo, it causes us to neglect other important aspects of life. So, kanina, di ba, ang example natin is pagiging sobrang saya. So, pag masyado tayong masaya, when we enter a new relationship, syempre excited tayo, so sobrang saya natin, di ba? We experience intense joy, and this feeling might make us neglect other things such as work or hobbies. So, as for magnification naman, the intensity of an emotion can magnify its impact. Yung tipong, kunwari, parang small setbacks lang, pero feeling natin sobrang laking failure na nito. So, parang under heavy emotions naman, which pwede din siyang vice versa, in which minor success naman feel like sobrang grand or malaking achievements naman. So, all of this basically tells us that Camus suggests that deep emotions are powerful forces that shape our experiences of the world. So, they act as a parang lens through which we interpret and interact with everything around us. So, ayun nga, since feelings can affect how we see the world, when we think of the world as bad, then syempre, the world will seem bad to you. Pero pag tiningnan naman natin yung world as something good, then the world looks good to you. So, dito na pumapasok yung word na absurd. So, Camus argues kasi that humans have an urge to understand the world. So, we use reason in order to do so. However kasi, from our limited perspective nga, the world appears unreasonable. So, this tension between our use of reason and the unreasonable world around us creates yung the absurd na tinatawag natin. So, absurd frames how we see the world. And Albert Camus uses two key ideas to explain the concept of the absurd. So, the first key idea is being the disconnect between human desire and universal indifference. So, humans kasi desire for meaning. Humans crave meaning and purpose in life. So, parang lagi kasi tayong curious. So, an example dito is siguro working a 9-to-5 job regularly that you have been doing it for months. Pero all seems normal and regular, pero bigla ka napatanong sa sarili mo ng why. So, why are you doing this? So, we constantly seek answers to questions like, why are we here and what is the point of it all? And as for universal indifference naman, the universe itself, however, offers no inherent meaning or purpose. So, it's indifferent to our desires and doesn't provide any answers to our questions. So, this basically results in absurd arising from this conflict. So, our inherent desire for meaning collides with the reality of an indifferent universe that offers none. So, imagine siguro a person who is yearning for a purpose, only for them to be met with a silent and uncaring universe. So, etong nakikita natin na disconnect is the essence of the absurd for Camus. So, yung second idea naman is the incompatibility between human finitude and the infinite. So, human finitude, ito yung our humans as finite being with limited lifespans and knowledge. So, we are constantly confronted kasi with our own mortality and the limitations of our understanding. The infinite naman is the universe, on the other hand, that seems vast and infinite. So, it stretches beyond our comprehension and continues on long after we're gone. So, yung absurd naman here comes from the clash between our finite existence and the overwhelming vastness and indifference of the universe. So, we are thrown kasi into a world that's much bigger and more complex than we can ever grasp. And our existence seems insignificant in the grand scheme of things. So, this feeling of insignificance and powerlessness contributes to the absurd. So, basically, ang sinasabi lang dito ni Camus is, it presents the absurd as a product of two fundamental clashes. Ito yung mismatch between our desire for meaning and an indifferent universe, and yung incompatibility naman between our finite existence and the infinite universe. So, ayun nga, the absurd arises from the fundamental mismatch between our human desire for meaning and purpose in a universe that offers none. So these absurd walls represent the limitations and frustrations we encounter when trying to find meaning in a meaningless world. So pwede siyang personal struggles, social injustices, existential anxieties, or kaya the limitations of human knowledge. So, pag tinignan natin siya in an intellectual standpoint, the absurd highlights the futility of trying to find inherent meaning within these walls. So, no matter how hard we push against them, the universe remains indifferent. So, actually, Camus proposes a solution which he defines through the idea of the absurd hero or absurd man. So, for Camus kasi, he thinks that we should live consistently with the absurd. So, with the help of these three mindsets, ito yung revolution or rebellion, acceptance and commitment, and yung absurd as freedom. So, for the first one kasi, nabibigyan tayo ng parang purpose to live in the present. Art as to rebel gives us clarity to what we do with our time alive. The second one naman is, we can accept the existence of the absurd walls and commit ourselves to living a meaningful life within their confines. So, this could involve focusing on relationships, creativity, or simply experiencing life to the fullest. And for the third one naman is, Camus argues that the absurd can be liberating. So, once we free ourselves from the illusion of inherent meaning, we are free to create our own meaning and values. So, we can live with passion and purpose even knowing that our existence is ultimately temporary. So, in essence, yung absurd walls kasi represent the limitations and frustrations inherent in an indifferent universe. So, Camus's intellectual approach to the absurd encourages us to confront these walls, not by finding inherent meaning within them, but by creating our own meaning and living life authentically in the face of the absurd. So, alam ko, medyo confusing yung ibang parts, and pag binasa kasi yung text, actually very confusing siya since medyo big kasi yung words and medyo nakakalito din yung pagkakasunod-sunod niya. Pero guided by dun sa mga references din na nahanap ko while researching about this, yung pagkakaintindi ko kasi, my key takeaway about it is that life often throws unexpected scenarios. So it sometimes feel as if we are constantly hitting walls. Pero yung absurd part about that is wala din naman atang grand reason kung bakit nangyayari yung mga yon. Kung ba't nangyayari yung mga road speed bumps na yon. Pero according kasi kay Camus, that doesn't mean na life has no meaning. So, bale, we can still create yung sarili nating purpose naman. We live our life the way we want, even if there are invisible walls blocking our path.
Moving on, we have philosophical suicide. So before that, I just want to share this quote by Albert Camus. There is but one truly serious philosophical problem, and that is suicide. So this chapter starts with a little recap about the absurd. So, tulad nga ng sinabi, the absurd isn't just one event. It isn't a reaction to a single fact or impression. It's about seeing the bigger picture, which is the ongoing clash between human hopes and an indifferent universe. So yung examples na binigay sa book is accusing an innocent person of monstrous crime, or seeing someone na with a sword attack a tank or someone with a machine gun. So one will say, diba, that is absurd, which means it's impossible or it's contradictory. So in these situations, the absurdity arises nga from the stark contrast between what we expect and what we witness, between a bare fact and a certain reality. So in all these cases, the magnitude of the absurdity will be in direct ratio to the distance between the two terms na kino-compare. So here's the key point. The absurd isn't inherent in either humanity or the world. So it's born from their confrontation. So sinabi din doon na the absurd nga is the union of a man and a world existing only in their juxtaposition. So kung hindi mag-exist ang Newman, or if the world was completely predictable, so yung divorce na tinatawag or yung contradictory wouldn't occur and there would be no absurdity. So what's more is the absurd is unique in the way that it cannot be separated or divided. So, kung i-eliminate mo yung human element of consciousness or yung pagiging indifferent reality ng world, we eliminate also the absurd altogether. So, sinabi rin doon na the absurd begins with life and ends only with death. So from there, we need to live with the absurd, diba? So what does it mean to live with the absurd? For Camus, it begins with accepting the situation as it is. We must acknowledge the lack of inherent hope and the constant need to reject comforting illusions and the inevitable dissatisfaction that comes sa pag-live in this world that doesn't cater to our desires. So yung danger actually lies in trying to escape the absurd. If we agree with the indifference of the universe or try to explain it with religion or other ideology, we undermine the very tension that defines the absurd condition. So, once na maging aware tayo or once na ma-realize natin how absurd life can be, it would feel like we're stuck in its grip, unable to break free, and we're trapped really. But even though we feel trapped, diba, in this weird universe, we have this urge to find a way out or to strive for liberation from the universe. Ngayon, some philosophers have looked at this feeling and they tried to find a way out of it. So philosophers like Kierkegaard and Shrestov, they acknowledge actually the absurdity. They see humanity facing an abyss of meaningless, pero they've come up with existential philosophies which suggest and offer ways to escape from this absurdity through religious faith or what they call leap of faith. So here's how they try to escape. So unahin natin si philosopher Lev Shestov na nagsasabi na kailangan ng tao ng God for such solutions because kung wala, they would have no way to define the impossible, which God ultimately represents. On the other hand naman, si philosopher Kierkegaard, sinasabi niya na to sacrifice the intellect or reason as being a sin against God in response to the absurd. Because traditional religious elements, based on reason, fail to capture the essence of faith. And sinasuggest niya na yung faith kailangan talaga ng leap or irrational acceptance despite the lack of clear explanation. So, for Camus naman, sinabi niya na they are just seeking such cure or escape sa absurdity. So, Camus, for his part, he claims that the absurd is sin without God. So, diba, sin, understood siya within religious context as transgression against the divine law. So, kapag inalis mo si God sa equation or sa absence ni God, yung sin, it takes on a new significance. So, kung wala tayong belief in a higher power to enforce moral imperative or offer redemption, yung sin, it becomes an expression of the absurdity inherent in human existence because it represents a rebellion against the irrationality of life and a defiance against the meaningless void that confronts individuals in a godless universe. So, he argues na yung existentialism to, they betray the core of the absurd. By introducing hope through faith, they destroy the divorce or yung tension na nagde-define mismo ng absurd condition. He also believes that the answer does not lie in religion, which is a method lang of seeking a cure for the affliction of the absurd. So, ang answer dapat is to accept the element of absurdity. So, the blind faith in something that is not tangibly there like God is called by Camus a philosophical suicide because of its tendency to negate the absurd condition. So, before this, let's discuss the meaning of literal suicide para kay Camus. So, for him, suicide is a response to the ultimate absurdity of life. Actually, not a response to the suffering because sinabi niya na we can endure the pain if we do have a sense of purpose in life, if nag-make sense lahat ng nangyayari sa buhay mo. So from this, philosophical suicide is like a metaphorical escape, which involves clinging to comforting beliefs or ideas that deny the absurdity, even if they seem illogical like religion and such. So another leap is phenomenology, which is a philosophical study of consciousness relationship to material objects and emphasizes the study of experience. It distinguishes the idea of an objective truth which is same for us all people from the idea that there are many subjective truths such as the reality of breeze or hand because consciousness makes meaning from what we see. So Husserl, a key figure in phenomenology, he argued that kailangan nating mag-focus on describing our experiences rather than trying to explain the world itself. While nag-a-align ito sa Absurd's initial claim na there is no single universal truth but rather multiple truths based on individual experience. So, Truths can be both psychological and metaphysical in how a mind understands them depending sa intention nito. So, intention refers to the way consciousness direct itself towards the specific aspects of experience. So, yung focus nito can enrich our experience. Pwede rin itong mag-lead sa idea na merong hidden essence behind each object na piniperceive natin. At ito ay nagkakreate ng tension with the absurd score principle. Next naman, diniscuss ni Camus yung line of thinking about reality and truth ni Husserl na similar to Plato's theory of forms na nagsasuggest na merong underlying reality behind the world of appearance, pati na yung mga abstract concepts such as justice, beauty, and goodness. So, nagka-create ito ng world na full of inherent meaning which nagko-contradict mismo sa core principle of the absurd, di ba? So, next naman, yung notion of extratemporal essence ni Husserl implies an abstract polytheism where all objects have privileged meanings. Because sina-challenge nito yung absurd man's belief na all aspects of the world are equivalent. So, on the other hand, for the absurd man naman, such assertions of truth and essence hold only little meaning to this absurd world. The leap from psychological truth to rational rule sa philosophy ni Husserl represents a metaphysical consolation. Even Husserl's idea of the concrete world is seen as a generalized intellectualism rather than a true understanding of human existence. So, Camus offers an alternative and introduces the absurd man. Gaya nga ng sabi kanina, it's natural for us to seek escape once we understand na this universe is absurd. Pero for the absurd man, he doesn't try to escape the absurd, and instead he embraces it with clear-eyed honesty and recognizes both the limitations of reason and the power of irrational. So, in conclusion, makikita natin na both reason and irrationality can lead to attempts to create meaning. So, whether through the abstract God of Husserl's phenomenology or yung personal God ni Kierkegaard, existentialism, parehas silang nag-offer ng form of consolation, a way to soothe human anxiety or distress. And sa absurd man, he doesn't seek comfort or reconciliation. Ina-acknowledge niya lang yung contradictions and yung lack ng inherent meaning at humahanap siya ng value in facing the reality head-on. So, yung absurd man nga, after considering all options, hindi siya interested sa kahit anong form of philosophical suicide which involves denying the absurd reality nga. So, yung real danger daw naglalay in the temptation to create a false sense of meaning para lang ma-avoid i-confront yung absurd reality. So, true integrity for the absurd man lies in facing the absurdity head-on without illusion or self-deception. So, in addition lang, for Camus, the arrival at the absurd is a question of whether to accept or refuse its condition. Hindi siya interested in the philosophical suicide of the other philosophers he describes, pero sa actual suicide. So, within that, he aims to divorce his exploration of suicide from its emotion para maintindihan yung logic nito.
Now, let's move on naman sa absurd freedom. Camus argues na yung human conditions raw ay characterized by an inherent tension between the desire of unity and clarity, and the chaotic, irrational nature of existence. According kay Camus, kahit ang buhay daw ay may lack ng inherent meaning, may freedom ang bawat isa to confront absurdity and find purpose through conscious rebellion against it. Kanina in the first part of this report, we discussed yung absurdity and suicide, and for this part, Camus also discussed about suicide. Sinasabi niya lang na yung suicide ay hindi logically follows from the recognition of life's absurdity. Instead, nire-representa nito yung pagtanggap kung saan ang isang tao ay mas piniling tapusin ang kanilang buhay kaysa harapin yung absurdity of life. Camus rejects the notion of abstract and metaphysical freedom. Sinasabi niya lang na siya lang ang makakaranas ng sarili niyang freedom. Basically, we have our own experiences when it comes to freedom. For example, yung freedom ko ay iba sa freedom ni Eli. Also, I can know and learn what freedom is by experiencing it instead of thinking about the metaphysical nature of freedom itself. Camus suggests that the richness of life will be determined by the quality and varieties of experience that a person experiences: revolt, freedom, and passion. Revolt, we must not accept any answer of reconciliation in our struggle. Freedom, we are absolutely free to think and behave as we choose. And passion, we must pursue a life of rich and diverse experiences. Now, let's go back to the question, is this life worth living for? Sabi kanina na kailangan daw ng meaning ng buhay para masabing worth it ito. Pero upon reading this essay, just like Camus said, mas mainam na mamuhay ng walang dahilan. To live through an experience, a particular destiny, is to fully embrace it. Now, no one will live out this destiny, knowing it to be absurd unless one is willing to die. Dalawa lang yan eh. First is to die voluntarily, or second, to endure the absurdity. It depends on the person on how will they handle the situation. Just like Camus said, we have the freedom. A person can wish for death kapag nawawala na sila ng pag-asa sa buhay, but another person can reject death kahit alam niyang wala ng rason para mabuhay. With this being said, let's discuss the myth of Sisyphus. Sisyphus lived an immoral life and was condemned by the gods to the worst punishment of all. Ito yung may malaking rock na kailangan niyang i-roll pataas ng mountain, and yung big rock na to ay mahuhulog ulit sa bottom ng mountain. It repeats over and over again. Sisyphus couldn't do anything to change the situation, so he lived without appeal. For Camus, Sisyphus is the ideal absurd hero kasi he lives his life to the fullest and rejects death. This makes Camus conclude that the only way to live a meaningful life is to embrace the absurdity of existence. Once we accept this, we can transcend it and find a deeper meaning in life. As Camus himself wrote, "In the depths of winter, I finally learned that within me there lay an invisible summer." This tells us to embrace life in the face of absurdity, reminding us that despite the challenges and circumstances we face, there is always hope. It encourages us to live our lives to the fullest, no matter what obstacles will come our way. And that's all for our report. Thank you.